This is Abundance Thursdays with myself, Gualter Amarelo, and the great Vinney. Smile, Chopra. Vinney, welcome back, brother. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing really well, brother. Really well. It's about 43 degrees. I'm in my backyard and just walking, and so forth. How are you? I know you're in Cleveland.
I am in Cleveland, and Vinny, this background is supposed to be the city of Cleveland, but I think I need to change it to be a snowier background because it's snowing today. It was 15
Oh,
degrees when I was on the
wow.
road this morning,
Oh
and
my gosh.
uh,
Oh my gosh.
it just makes me remember how good Florida really is.
Yeah, I know. That's so true. When the sun is out, sun is not out yet, as you can see. But as the sun gets out, it's a little bit warmer. But California has been cooler and it rained yesterday. So that's interesting. Yeah.
I love how you look at it. It's,
So
it's
tell me, I
interesting.
know you're in business in Cleveland, and also congratulations on picking up that 80 units apartment, multifamily in Jackson, Mississippi. All right.
Thank you,
You
brother.
know?
Thank you. I would not have done it if it wasn't for the confidence I get from Abundance Thursdays every single week at
Ah,
9 a.m. PST, 12 p.m.
ah,
EST. So, Vinny, today's
yes,
principle
yes.
is a fun one. This is, well, principle seven, who has your money? And you have not only raised your money, you've invested your money, you've invested other people's money, and you've helped a lot of people have money. So it's at all sorts of different times. Money is yours, it's somebody else's, it's moving from one hand to another. Why is this magic of money ownership so important to people? Like, why is everybody fighting over who owns what?
It is so interesting. Remember, money, dollars or rupees in my currency in India, whatever, the whole world, money is movable. Money is movable. It changes hands. And you have to have the mindset to really do well in life. And you can do well in life. I don't know why. I'm better when I'm not poor, right? So you want to earn money right ways legally and then spend it so that other people can get jobs and so forth. And you also and give to charities and do the kind of things you want to do. Happiness is better with money or without money. You can be miserable, but a lot of people say, you know what? If you're happy miserable with money, then you're
So it's true. You can be happy and
okay.
rich. You can be sad and poor, right? It is
That's
possible to be
right.
happy in either state, but when you have money, it's a little bit easier to not have things to complain about. It's at
So
least
true.
a little bit easier. You can afford to solve some of the basic problems. So
You
this,
know,
yep, good.
it's the mindset. It's the mindset. I think my very good friend Bronson Hill, you know him too. Bronson has written a book, of course, Fire Yourself. His book has got 700 reviews on Amazon. Fire Yourself. I like that book. Then second one is I think Rich Brain. I think that's his new book, which is coming out. I just want to give a shout out. I just interviewed on his podcast this week. But the key thing is you got to really have the mindset that you are worthy of money. See, the problem is a lot of us are having scotomas or negative feeling towards money. And if you have negative feelings towards money, money will not come to you.
Before we go deeper into that, a scitoma. Can you explain to somebody who's not a yogi, somebody who has not spent years in the spiritual world trying to figure out what's going on, what a scitoma is? Because that is so cool. I think it's the first time I've heard you use the word, and I
Oh
absolutely
my gosh, I learned that word from Lou Tice, from I think Oregon, and somebody just shared with me this week also that they had done a program with him. My old life company in Saddlebrook Resort in Florida, actually, right there near Clearwater. We were cooped up for my wife and all, and other consultants' wives were there for 1 week, for 5 days. Loot Heist came, and my company paid thousands of dollars to teach and let him teach us, what's the different mindsets tomas are. These are the barriers These are the barriers that we just put them on our own limitations. Let's say barriers or limitations or the negative spots. And so many of them are there that we hinder our progress.
And so anybody just listening, I learned about scotomas from Michael Singer, the book, The Surrender
Oh,
Experiment.
yes.
And
Yes.
what he talks about is that will attract people with the same exact scotomas as us. So if I had a hard time with raising money as a child, if my parents had that problem, then I would have attracted a spouse who has the same
Yeah.
problem and
Yeah.
friends who have the same problem. And
Hmm.
so like money would have this belief system around it because that's where,
Yeah.
money got stuck in the heart chakra or in the throat. I wouldn't speak about money because money got stuck in my throat chakra, whatever it is. So the scotomas kind of like get stuck in their subconscious. We can't see them, and then you got to kind of do some process to get
Yes.
them out. So who has your money? And looking at this through the lens of belief systems around where the money is, you mentioned that there's a lot of different ways to attract capital in the notes that you sent me earlier. But
Yeah.
before we go into how to attract capital and how to find money and who has money that's actually yours, why do we have to have the belief system that it's ours before we actually get it? Where does Greg Cardone came up with, or he popularized this phrase of who has your money?
Hmm.
But why is it important for us to actually believe it's ours before we go out and talk to somebody?
That's a very good question. Very, very good question. See, the thing is, as we say, what we attract, what we think, what we believe, what we manifest, we attract those feelings. And the key thing is, we have to really be setting some really good goals ourselves and vision. Vision, we always say affirmations. I mean, how many people really affirm every morning, I'm wealthy of attracting more great investors. I'm wealthy of really getting more clients from my business. I'm wealthy so that my teams of people, my partners, have the same vision so that they can also become more positive and be making presentations to more people. See, people will not come in our lap just by themselves. They're not thinking, hey, Vinny, oh, I've not talked to Vinny today or for a month or 6 months. We have to remind ourselves to remind them that we are here. We are
Hold on,
here
Vinny.
for them.
You're saying the law of attraction doesn't work, I just think it, and then suddenly people think of me? I got to do something in order to get them to think about me?
See, this is the life cycle. We got to be feeding from the bottom. It's very simple game. If we are not getting the good leads on the top of our funnel and we are not spending time on a daily basis in talking to placement people, like in my case, just to let you know, I gave examples. I did calls with my team on the call so that they could listen to me how I approach placement CEOs in Arizona so that they could bring agents to my residential assisted livings, because we are open with open arms and people are loving, and we are doing open houses and we are bringing people and having lunch with them, and so that they feel like, oh, you know what, if any senior needs a home, RAL will bring it to your home so that they can tour. That's the beauty of it. See, you got to be going out to reach customers and clients and the people who can bring great, great clients to you.
And so you just actually gave us some of the magic of, so you know that you make your money from having clients in your units. So having
Yes,
seniors living inside your residential assisted livings. So
yes.
in order to get the seniors, you go out to people who have access to them. These are leasing agents who have the ability to go and take seniors and put them into buildings. So
Mhm.
you know who has your money, and that is them. That's actually the leasing agent who has the ability to get the senior. So you reach out to the leasing agent, but in order to do it at scale, you show your team to lease out a leasing agent, which just gave us another layer to this. Your team
Yes,
is actually the person who has your money, because your team's going to go out to the
yes.
leasing agent. The leasing agent's going to go out to the senior, who eventually has the end money, the money that's going to be paid you. But indirectly, your team is actually your highest person who has your money because you don't have the time to go to every single senior
Exactly.
and find out what's going on.
Exactly. I'm so glad you're saying that. And we went over the internet and I do Zooms. I love doing Zooms. I've been running my business for the last 30 years on Zooms because, or no, it used to be, let's say, oh my gosh, I forget now.
Skype. It used to be Skype. I
Skype,
remember you told me it was
Skype.
Skype.
I
Yeah.
remember Skype, yeah, and Citric, then GoToMeetings and WebEx and all that. So I've been using all those tools because I'm a creature of the newest tools out there. Zoom is amazing. Now, webinar, hold on. Oh my gosh, this webinar, I've got 141 people signed up. I don't know these people, but they are going to be saving 85% still in 2024 on their against their AGI, aggregate gross income, which is the investment I'm talking on Saturday morning. Anyway, but the key thing is you got to teach and train your teams of people what you know. See, if you know it and you can teach them how to fish, then they'll catch a lot of fish.
And
But
if
if
you
you don't show them, they're going to be doing what they know, really. So I really take into my hand the training part. You got to really train people and your team so that they can accomplish bigger results. They can accomplish bigger results for your team, for your company, for your everybody. Because just like you said, I cannot be doing everything. I just want to teach them and then they do it.
that is so important for the entrepreneur who's just getting scale into place because a lot of people are trying to do it all themselves and they're like, okay, I got to go to the customer, I got to go to the customer, I got to go to the customer. It's like, dude, at some
Yeah.
point, you got
Uh-uh.
to go to your sales team. You got to build the sales team and train them
Hmm.
properly. One of the notes that you dropped in here is converting the unsold and past client reactivation. So why is it? Because it seems obvious to me, right? Oh, well, obviously past clients spent money with me. Why not just go back and see if they'll spend money with me again? Why
Yes.
don't more entrepreneurs reactivate their past clients? Why
You
is there such a
know,
barrier to that?
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There are several reasons for it. First of all, maybe their clients are not happy. They are having challenges and they are not solving their challenges. They are not happy with the investments they did or whatever. And maybe when they wanted some questions answered, they did not answer in the right fashion. See, I always said that you look at every investor as 20x. It's not just 100,000 they're going to give you, they will give you 2 million in my case. And some of our top investors have given me up to 5 million. 5 million, not 20x, but 50x. 50x. The key
In
thing
fact,
is,
you have one that's happening right now. If I remember correctly, 2 weeks ago, you told me there's one that's bringing in 28 million.
yeah, no, that
So
was
that's
the, no, what is that is actually, I was able to impress upon that client. He's my great, great friend. He invited his friends. See, that's the beauty of it. You got to use the fusion theory. What is the fusion theory? I teach that in my classes also about attracting money and attracting investors. Fusion is just like the physics term, disintegrates, right? So you look at in your 700 clients or customers, which are the top 20 who are very happy with you, and then you talk to them, give them incentive and nurture them and everything so that they could promote you with their circle of friends. So you are able to then have 20 different Vinnies and they will be able to then attract more good people to invest with you or buy your services or whatever. That's the fusion theory, FUSION, fusion theory. I'm a mechanical engineer, so I always look at that. The other thing is you have to be a fire engine. Why do I say fire engine? Because, see, you have to put out fires. If in your territory, if in your client base of 200, 400, 700, we are talking about clients who have done business with you, you want to make sure that their needs are met You remind them through all the positive news and negative at the same time. Communication is the key. You send them gifts, Thanksgiving gifts. Usually we send out 12, $14,000 worth of gifts to our top clients, every client, even vendors and attorneys and lenders, everybody, because we are here because of them. See? So that's a mind shift. We got to be always praising. I don't send birthday cards anymore, but in my calendar, I have, they show up in the morning, then I just text them. And I have some GIF graphics of happy birthdays, very business-like, and I just pop that in there. See, just saying congratulations on your birthday or sending an image, it makes a big difference. And sending images is very important to me, so that they really look at that and they get a good feeling, that you are remembering them and so forth right there, right? And then also putting all these social media posts and everything, happy holidays. So let's just go back to what you just said. Clients, it took them time to come in your fold. So you need to bring them on the conveyor belt again and again and again and again and again. I never did a webinar until maybe this year. In last 14 years, I've never done a webinar to attract money. I always put my presentations at the end of the investors meetings every quarter. I knew every investor is going to watch it if they didn't even come to the my presentation, which is only to those investors of that investment. But I would put the slides at the end where Vinney's going next, what different deals are going to be coming up. So I would just do a nice email to them with the PPM, well, not the PPM, but the product brochure and everything, and then all the returns, and then soft commit. That has been my trick. And then they will soft commit, and I collect usually 94.5% of the soft commit. That's huge. That's
That
huge.
is a huge percentage. If anybody has ever raised
Yeah.
capital, first, what a
Yeah.
soft commit is an investor saying, I will
Yeah.
put insert X amount of dollars into this deal when it becomes available. And
Yes.
then to convert a soft commit, usually it's 50%. If you're
50.
lucky, it's 40
Yeah.
to 50% of those
Yes.
people who
Yes.
say, yeah, I'll give you 100,000, only about half of them actually end up investing in the deal, capable at the time or liquid at the time.
Totally. Totally.
So to have a 90 plus, a 94% conversion, that's a really good solid list that you've trained to
Consistent. It's
know.
consistent.
Yeah.
It's consistent, brother. It used to be 99% actually, most of my deals. And I would incentivize my investors by giving them 2%, because if their money is not making any money in their checking account, I would give them from the day the money comes into the account LLC up to the day of closing. They made money. So I paid like, 4, 5, 6, 10,000 or whatever, total. But then the money was wired right away. We give them 7 to 10 days after they soft commit to fill out the paperwork and everything and then wire. So those principles have helped a lot. First come, first serve, making sure, and then sometime returning the money because the money came in late. That really gets them to say, oh my gosh, I need to send the money right away, and so on, and then incentivize them to be able to. And now I have account with a special bank where they give me 4.71%. Wow. So all the money coming in is earning money. Wow. So I don't even have to pay from my pocket anymore. I could
You
just
just
give
pass that along to the investors. That's really, really
to the
cool.
investors. Yeah. So the key
That's
thing is, this money is there. That's what our show is today. Money is there, but do you have the mindset? Just like Grant Cardone, brother Grant Cardone, I met him and we took a selfie together in Houston. I think it was one convention or Dallas somewhere. And, I bought his courses. Really great guy who's really exemplified. and he's helping millions of people, I think, I don't know, and raised and did 7 billion or 6 billion in multifamily. So God give him more strength to really break the bank, I call it. But, we are talking about his book, which he put together. Who has the money? So we got to really find in our circle who has the money and then go after, because it's not taking their money, it's giving them our services,
And
our
let's
superpowers. Yeah. Go ahead. Go
let's
ahead.
look at one of the last ones that you gave me. So, like
Yes.
one of your notes was you create your own economy, and another one was maximizing every interaction. So when you talk
Yeah.
about maximizing every interaction, how does that relate to putting the money into your account? So let's say you meet an investor, and that investor definitely wants to be inside your investment. So now that money is actually your money, right? Even though it's still in their account, it's your money because it's going to go into a deal, and you're going to pay that investor
Yes.
back out of that capital. How does this idea of maximizing every interaction come into play? Like, what are some examples that you use?
Wow. This is amazing what you're asking me. See, the thing is, I don't rely on just one mode to build my trust. I give them several places. I call them. I leave messages. I text them. I email them. I send them my investor brochure. I give them after a week's time. See, if you have five investors who have shown you and they filled out our form from my website, we have a drip system. I mean, we are reminding them and nurturing them so that they are fully getting understood what to look for in a deal, to where the syndicators or the fund managers, how to look for the emerging markets. So this is like, a machine. You got to gain their trust. People will only give you money if they trust you. And if you get a good deal and you have really done a great underwriting and you have taken some very assumptions which are conservative, I call it, with the changing marketplace and everything right now, you have to be very, very up and up on what you present to investors. Like my hotel deal, right? I was really totally sold on it. I met with the operator. Oh, sorry about the lawn mower here. My next door neighbor has a lawn mowing. Today's what? It's a Thursday. Ours come tomorrow. So I'm just going to go away a little bit again in my backyard, But my very good friend, we have known them for 30 years. When we moved here, we didn't know they lived next door. What? This is so interesting. I knew he moved out to Danville, a Black Hawk area, but when we bought this home, then we met that day. I say, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know you live here." Anyway, go ahead, go ahead.
So, Vinny, the last question I have is some of the proactive steps that you can make to create your own economy. So, let's say a person right now has all their money tied up, and I'm a perfect example. If I got my money tied up in Illinois, I got my money tied up in Massachusetts, I got money tied up now in Jackson,
Mhm.
Mississippi, and I just got
Yeah,
165 units under agreement in Cleveland. So now I've got to go and invest in that next deal. How does a
yeah.
person who's already tied up and sees great opportunities now become liquid again and put money into the next product, the next deal, the next business, the next idea?
Good point. Very good point. See, that's what you and I are really, really teaching in our academy and in our mastermind and inner circle. That's what Grant Cardone. See, Grant Cardone doesn't put all his money into it. I don't put all my money into it. No, to qualify for loans, you have to have the liquidity so that you could get more loans. Good debt. We call it good debt, good loans, because you're investing them into deals where they're going to make more cash flows and equity gains and everything. That has been my secret. It is syndication, using other people's money, family, friends' money, almost over 220 million. People trusted me to give me the money. And it's taken 18 years, but I've returned their money. They gave me again, returned, gave more. But they kept on opening their wallets after 100,000. I got minimum is 100,000 in my deals. They gave me 200, then 250, then 500. I started giving them better returns in tier investing. I invented that. So if some people came in at 100, they got certain split and the cash flow like 7%. At 250, they got 8% per year. At 500, they got 9% per year. So higher the dividends. And then the split also, I changed it to like 60-40 to 65-35 or to 70-30, 70-30 like that. So those kind of creative ways got them to invest more and more and earn better returns.
And so what you're saying is, in order to make your own economy, it's stop trying to do everything by yourself.
Yeah.
Allow other
Yeah.
investors into your products, allow other people into your deals, and then it
Totally.
becomes,
Totally.
it's really an abundance mindset. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm the
Yes.
only one with my money, it's who else has my money? Who else could invest in a
Exactly,
project like this?
exactly, exactly, exactly what you're saying, brother. I mean, that's the reality of this economy. That's the reality of Google's and Microsoft's and all these stocks that you are flying high. Tesla, look at that. Tesla is up so high. And
To the
these are
moon.
investors to the moon, brother. I mean, 83% higher. My gosh, I can't believe it. I mean, the thing is, it's all investors' money. That's all it is.
Yep.
It's all investors' money. All these big companies, the stock market, it's all investors' money. Private equities, all these investors' money. The thing is, you got to open up your eyes and say, you know what? I always say that your 20 investors are in your contact list right now. Hold on. You have to find who are those 20 people who can really come with you. They are silent, they are limited partners. You are the general partner. You learn the tricks of the trade. You find a deal in real estate because real estate is the best thing going forever. I say about stocks, I play stocks.
It's true. I like that, you've invested in stocks. I think you've invested more in stocks these past few years than in the past. Because I know you and I have had that conversation. In the past, it was all real estate. Real estate's built your wealth.
10% of the money. They
Yep.
give you 70%. You just put down 30%. Now you grew that asset to double. Now, guess what? They say, Vinny, just give me the balance, what you owe, but the gain, I will take zero money out of the gain. There is no other partner in the world who will do that. They
And
give
for
you
everybody who's just listening,
70%.
so Vinny, you cut out for a moment. Vinny's
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about the bank. The bank in real estate will give you 70% of the money to go and invest. And when you get a big gain, they only want the money you borrowed back. They
That's it.
don't want
That's
your
it.
gain. They don't want a piece of it. That's the government. The government wants a piece of your gain,
Yes, 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 which is okay, which is okay.
which
It's
is
good to
okay.
make money and give money away. But there are so many different ways that you could, legally save money also with the cost segregation, accelerated depreciation, because that's the other thing. Not only the banks are your partners with 70% give, then the IRS is your partner too. IRS says this asset you bought for 5 million, it'll be worth zero. The land will be there. So let's say if out of 5 million, 500 is the land. So 4.5 million of the asset will be zero in tax terms in 27.5 years in residential asset. Hold on. So they're saying you are going to increase value. You're going to sell this asset from 5 to 10 million or whatever. But the IRS says it's going to be worth zero in 27.5 years. These are the two things which are in our favor, brother. That's why commercial real estate is the best thing going in this world. Every millionaire, every billionaire has big portfolio in real estate.
And that's there it is. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. If you're not talking about real estate with your family, if you're not getting yourself confident about what you're doing, you're missing out on a
Yes.
huge opportunity. It's also a
Oh my
great time to
gosh.
reach out to friends and people who you've worked with in the past and let them know you're in real estate. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the biggest failure that a lot of investors, new investors make, and even experienced investors, is not telling people that they're in real estate, that they are buying real estate, they're involved in deals, and not letting
Yes.
people know that they are even allowing other people in. One of my biggest like things I've said often is that if you're not willing to go tell your family, if you're willing to bring a stranger into your deal, why wouldn't you go tell your family about your deal? Why wouldn't you tell your
Totally.
friends and your family about a deal? Like, I'd rather pay my friends and family than pay a complete
Totally.
stranger. Right?
Totally. Oh my, makes so much sense. And you can actually be very sincere and get their feedback. I always say the presentations you want to make with your clients, with your investors, go ahead and try on your family first. Why not? Brother, sister, mom, dad, because the I mean, all different ages, right? So that you could get their perspective and then they will ask you questions. Then you go ahead and answer questions before they come up. You put those slides and change your slide presentation. Oh my gosh. I would like to really thank everybody who's been following us for the last 2, 3 years now, brother. And I really appreciate you. Thanksgiving, I want to give my great gratitude to you, Gualter and Darina, your lovely, wife. And the key thing is you got to always be giving gratitude to everybody. We say that in the morning, miracle morning, you got to really say thank you to the Lord who brought us here in this world. At the same token, really align ourselves so that we can be the best person every single day. Thanksgiving is, just past and Christmas is here, but this is the holiday season. I hope everybody's safe and well. And chime in every Thursday morning, Abundance Mindset Show. We hope we could take it to the next level in 2025. Opportunities will be here and so forth.
So you heard it here. It is Abundance Thursdays every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard. Be grateful. Vinny, we're grateful for you. I know everybody in Alchemist Nation is
Ah,
thankful for the wisdom we get
ah,
on Thursdays, the wisdom we get from you throughout the
ah,
year, and just seeing the
ah,
deals you're doing and the mindset you have with the information you give us and the abundance that you give us. We appreciate it. For
ah.
each person who's listening, like, share, subscribe, send this to a friend. Cheers to your success. We have a choice. Always work with the best. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. That's fantastic, brother.